Today I want to talk about finding yourself after a major life change. I have gone through some major life changes in the last few years. I went through some changes that totally flipped my world upside down. And I know I'm not the only one that's been through this. And I'm still going through it, and I'm still trying to find myself again. And as I stand here in my unkept living room, I just want to share a couple things. Actually, I have 6 or 7 different things. Some things that helped me get through it, and some things that I've learned along the way. Quick story time. I was in a relationship for about 10 years. Married for about 3. Almost 3. And husband came home one day and said, I don't want to be a husband. I don't want to have kids. It's too much responsibility. Take the pets, like take the dog and the 2 cats and go. I just want to be a lone ranger forever. So basically that's what happened. I ended up leaving. And I, at the time, for the past 7 years, I had been an art teacher, which is what I went to school for. And it was in February when this happened. It's the middle of the school year. And I left. So I went to my family's house. They lived 2.5 hours away. And I went back to my hometown. And the plan was to commute because I didn't want to leave in the middle of the school year. And so I did that. I went there, and I missed a couple days of work after the incident happened, and after I found out that we were going to get divorced. And I was driving to work. It was a long commute. It was an hour and 45 minutes, almost 2 hours to that workplace from my hometown. And I was driving. There's a girl that was on her phone at like 6 in the morning while she was on the interstate going over 70 miles an hour, hit my car, ran me off the highway, totaled my car. So I had some injuries, pretty superficial ones, but a lot of it was more like mental. I had a lot of bruising, so much soreness. I mean, we were going 70 miles an hour. So anyways, that was really rough. And I was then having to teach visual arts. I mean, I taught ceramic sculpture, drawing, printmaking. I taught all of that, and now I was having to do it virtually through e-learning. And teaching all of those things virtually is not an easy task when you are going through emotional turmoil. Like, my whole world had been, I mean, a divorce I never thought would happen. I never thought I'd be going through that. I did not come from a family that gets divorced, and he did, but that shouldn't matter. Like, we loved each other, and we were together for almost 10 years and married for just a little bit of that. So why all of a sudden would this be happening? Like, you just wouldn't think that it would be happening. Like, looking back now, there's obviously signs. You live and you learn. That's another video. But that happened. I moved back to my hometown, which I never wanted to do. I missed being with my family, but I moved there. Then I lost my car, went through this car accident, and then I made the decision, because of how long the commute was. I still didn't have a car. I was waiting for like an insurance check to be able to get like a cash car just to get to work. And I was like, I can't do this. This is too much. It's not fair to the kids either to do e-learning and for visual arts in high school. Like, it's just not fair. And I know they would have rather me done e-learning than just not be there at all. But I did end up giving my resignation in March. So it was about 3 weeks after the move. So then I spent some time healing. I was living with my mom and dad, and they helped me along financially. And I ended up getting a job at a local garden center, and that helped me a lot. which leads to the first tip that I have, is when you are going through a life change, and I'm still going through one, okay? So I'm taking this advice too. Don't look at me as somebody who knows it all, because I don't, and I have not succeeded completely. But this has helped me, and maybe it'll help you. Number one is to go outside, okay? In this day and age, and like the world we live in, everybody wants to be inside on their phone, watching TV. Everybody, like, there's a lot of people that are obsessed with just being clean all the time and everything being pristine. And I'm just like, no, you need to go outside and get dirty. You need to walk around barefoot, for one. I always used to do that when I was little. And I mean, I still do here and there, but I have like plantar fasciitis in one foot that flares up every now and then. So I do like to wear shoes, but like just go outside, get dirty, garden. Like when I worked at that garden center, like I'd worked in a Lowe's garden center before, and this was a little local one, and it was so peaceful, and it was exactly what I needed. I just wanted to go to work and come home and not have to think about work. You know, when you're a teacher, that's not the case. It's not the case at all. And that's a whole other video as well. But this was the first time I was able to just go to work, and it was a pretty peaceful job. I had to deal with customers every now and then, but like I was outside with plants, and that just does something for your soul when you are seeking healing. So that's number one, working outside. Continuing the story, I worked at the garden center for a while, and there was a job and it wasn't making much money. Okay, it was a little local garden center. They couldn't pay me much money, like, and that's okay. But I needed to build my savings. I needed to pay off some debt. I needed to save up for my own place. I can't live with mom and dad forever. Didn't want to. As much as I love them and I was grateful for that, you know, you gotta move on. So I needed to make more money, and there was a position open for a utility company, which I applied for, and I got the job, and it's making, you know, $10 more an hour than I was making at this garden center. And I actually was making more than I was making as a teacher with a master's degree in education. And it's kind of sad when you think about it that way. And I've gone through a lot of reflection, thinking of, you know, and reflection and what should I say? I guess I'll just say reflection. Like, I've been a little bitter about that, like all the money I spent for schooling and all of my certifications to teach, I mean, like preschool all the way through, I could teach master's programs in visual arts. And I am at an entry-level job at a utility company, and I'm making more than I did as a teacher. Like, that's horrible. It's horrible, and it makes me feel like all that hard work was wasted at the time. But I was like, okay, I'm going to do this job. It'll be fine. I'm still at the job 3 years later. Got a stain on my shirt. Whatever. I'm still at the job 3 years later, and this job that I'm at has served a purpose. It was a job that I could go to, I could do my job, work hard, come home, and not have to think about work. It's a job that's stable. It's got 401k, it's got benefits, all of that. Like, it is like the ideal job for stability, right? But I have healed to the point where this type of job, it's very repetitive. It's the same thing all the time for the most part. And this job is not fulfilling me. It is a job where somebody with my personality that loves to create and make things and organize and brainstorm and think critically and help people, that kind of thing, to feel, I want to feel fulfilled. This job is not cutting it. But I'm here, you know, I'm still doing it, and it's a job that I need, and this is where I will stay for now, and that's fine. But I'm struggling right now with the fact that I don't feel fulfilled. I don't feel like I have a purpose because my students aren't with me anymore. I don't have students to help, and work with and build relationships with, and like nobody needs me. You know what I mean? Like, yes, your family needs you, your pets need you, your significant others, like that kind of thing. But like, I want a career, I want a job that has purpose. I want to help people. I want to make a difference in some way, whether that be small or large. Okay? So I'm working through that right now. Anyways, the next thing I would suggest when you are working through a divorce or major life change, right, is to accept help. I am not somebody who accepts help easily. I like to do things myself. I love helping others, but if I need help, it just makes my chest hurt to have to think of asking somebody for help. Thankfully, I have a really good family. I have good friends that did help me through this, and it was a struggle, and I felt pretty pitiful. I felt kind of like a loser. I felt like I had failed. And I want you to know, if you're going through something like this right now, you are not a loser. You didn't fail. Life happens, and it happens when you are not expecting it to happen. And if you're anything like me, you thought all the way up until that point of the divorce happening, or the job change, or whatever you're doing, that whatever significant change you've been going through, you thought every decision you've made up until that point was a decision you were supposed to make. You thought you did your best, you did your best, and you thought that you made all the right decisions. And the answer to that question, as of right now, like what I think, is that you did. You made every decision you were supposed to make to get you to where you are now. And then life happens. And sometimes those decisions that you made weren't necessarily supposed to be forever. They weren't supposed to be your forever, basically. Some relationships are seasonal. They're just for a period of time, and it's okay for them to change. And it's okay for you to move on, or it's okay for them to move on. You know, even if you're not expecting it, it's okay. Life moves on, and you're going to move on, and it's going to be better. Because you have to trust that whoever's out there, whether you believe in God, the universe, Jesus, whatever you believe in, your guardian angels are looking out for you. Somebody's looking out for you, and what's meant to be will be. Okay? So definitely accept help from others along the way. Another thing I would like to say that helped me is I said goodbye to social media. I have been somebody who has gone on and off and on and off of Facebook my whole life. I hate Facebook. It's so annoying, and it gives me anxiety. It makes my chest hurt. It makes me upset. It makes me sad. It just stresses me out. I don't know why. I get anxious about posting things. I get anxious about seeing other people's. It's just like a whole thing. But I finally 100% deleted it. Like, I'm done with Facebook. Okay? That was freeing, because I had people from the town I used to live in that were friends with my ex-husband. I had his family on there, and I'm just like, I just want to disappear. Not all the way, but I just want to you just need to find yourself again, and you don't need to see what everybody else is doing all the time. And they definitely don't need to see what you're doing after your divorce that you went through, right? It's time for some healing. And a lot of times social media is not very healing. It actually is quite the opposite. So that's something I would advise if you have Facebook, Instagram, whatever. I'd say TikTok, but that's a little different than Facebook and Instagram. But just maybe try taking a break from social media. Okay. Next is to rediscover your passions. So this is something I'm going through right now. Okay. I'm trying to figure out, who the heck am I? Because I was in that relationship for so long, with somebody with such a strong personality, my ex-husband, and he kind of overshadowed me, and I let him. It's just you're with them for so long, it just becomes a habit, and you're slowly, introduced to them. I don't know, like I didn't realize it was happening at the time until now. And yeah, I think they kind of just made me dull and not myself. And I realized how many decisions they made that were made to benefit them, and I was not considered. And that's okay. Like it is what it is. It's over. But I want to find myself now, because I'm not overshadowed. I am myself, and I have the freedom to do whatever it is I want to do and explore my hobbies and just be me again. Because 10 years, I'm 31. 10 years with somebody was my entire young adulthood. That's what it feels like. From 21 to 31. Like, I've been out of that, well, I mean, it's, almost 10 years. But, that's a long time. And I went through a lot of life changes and life stages with him next to me. And I didn't get to grow individually, like, as me. So, now I'm coming up with things that I love. And also, like, when I was teaching, I couldn't necessarily go home and create anything. Like, I'm an artist, that's what I do. And when you're teaching art all day long and you come home, you just don't want to you don't want to art anymore, basically. So it kind of sucked the life out of me when I was teaching. I loved it, but there's pros and cons to every job. But I have the energy now and the creativity in me to do the things that I love again. So that's something I would encourage you to do if you're struggling through a life change, is to sit down and list out 5 to 10, maybe 3 to 5. Let's do like 3 to 5 things you are passionate about, things you love that make you love so much that you'd be doing them and you'd forget to eat. You're going to start being like, you're working so hard, you're like in it, and then all of a sudden you're like, I feel kind of dizzy. Or like, weird, I don't have energy right now. Oh, I didn't eat for the last 6 hours. Like something like that you were like so excited about, so passionate about. Like list down 3 to 5 of them and delve into each one and just like kind of explore those and see how they make you feel inside. Okay. Oh, next, a little thing, but it's still important, especially if you've gone through a divorce or a breakup and you've been with somebody for a long time. Girl, now it's your time to cook for yourself. Cook for you. Cook things that you like. You know, have girl dinners in the fridge, like, that are easy, where you don't even have to cook. Or if you want to learn how to cook, you could learn how. Just like make meals that make you happy and cook for you. Okay, even if you're not cooking with somebody or you're not cooking for like a family member or a friend, like cook a bomb ass dinner and eat it yourself with a glass of wine or a freaking shot of whiskey and some Diet Coke and just enjoy your dinner. Okay, enjoy being with yourself, because now is the time to love yourself. Now is the time to heal. And it's okay that all that crap happened. It's okay that it happened. I promise it'll be fine. You're going to get through it. Food is important. Don't eat too much of it. Don't eat too much of it and then gain a bunch of weight and then feel bad about yourself. You don't want to do that either. Or you don't want to like not eat enough food. But cook your some really cool meals. Something new. You know. Something healthy, something that nourishes you, something that's really yummy, that you can sit, put your favorite show on, go sit outside in the backyard or something on your balcony and eat your dinner that you made for you. You know? Okay. Lastly, something that I regret not doing sooner is reflecting on what happened. This is important. Now, everybody does this in their own time. I was not ready to do this until like the last couple weeks, and this is 3 years after all of that happened. Because I was on antidepressants during that whole situation. I'd never been on them before that, but while it was going on, my doctor's like, hey, do you want some help? And I was like, sign me up. So I was on antidepressants for the first time in my life. And those worked so well that I had not processed everything that happened until I got off of the antidepressants just a few weeks ago. And so I think that's where all of this is coming from, is like I'm still healing after 3 years. You know, I'm still healing. I'm still getting over the trauma that I went through. And there's a lot I went through that is traumatic that I have not told you. And that's okay. That's just my business. And maybe I'll show it in another video, because I do want to try to help somebody out. But reflect on what happened. Reflect on your mistakes. Reflect on things that happened to you, how things made you feel. And I want you to decide what type of person you want to be now. I want you to decide who you are. Figure out who you are, and then what you want to do now, because ball's in your court. The decision is 100% up to you, because you don't have anybody weighing you down anymore. You don't have somebody disagreeing with every decision you make. You don't, if you're leaving a job that has been just giving you stress and turmoil, like, you don't have that in your way anymore. What do you want to do? Think about it, because literally there's so many possibilities. You can do anything that you want to do. I know everybody says that, like, you can do whatever you put your mind to, but it's true, okay? And you are a free woman, free bird, or man, and you can make whatever decisions you want. So you could write, you could do voice memos, make a video like I am, and think about who you want to be. Who are you? You? Who are you? Think about it. Because I want you to be you, and I want me to be me. And sometimes along the line, throughout life, we lose sight of who that is. And sometimes you have to find yourself again. So that's the journey that I'm starting right now, is figure out who the heck I am. And the first step that I have taken to figure that out is to think about what little 10-year-old me, if she was standing right here and she knew everything that I was going through, or everything that I'd went through, what would she tell me, or what advice would she give to me? And that's the last little bit that I will give to you today, is think about what 10-year-old you would say. What advice would they give as like a child? Just think about it. It might help you find the real you inside again. Love you guys.